talk about this, your issue with President Tinubu. Now that you say President Tinubu has disappointed you. You worked for him. You supported him. He has disappointed you with the ministry. He has disappointed you also with some other things. If you could also take that along as we try to manage time.
I want to say that the opposition to decision to scrap the Niger Delta ministry have nothing to do with my personal relationship with President Bola Tinubu. I am just an individual. My personal relationship with Alhaji Bola Tinubu is personal. I am a representative of my people. I was chosen and elected by my people to lead them based on a broad-based grassroots movement, the Joy Youth Council. Having said that, like I said before, we were in the trenches with Bola Tinubu, and he's the least person we expect to have taken this decision. This ministry came into being on the blood and sweat of the people of the Ijaw Nation. I was incarcerated in 2005, and the struggle started, the agitation started soon after the former governor of Bayelsa State, Alamesia, was also incarcerated. Oil production came down to 700,000 barrels. And in order to assuage, in order to placate the Ijaw people, Yar'Adua started with a 7-point agenda. And one of these 7-point agenda was the issue of the Niger Delta. And the Niger Delta ministry was created by President Yar'Adua. Now, like I was saying, I don't know whether you got me, the people of Ogoni and Ijaw said if for us to be part of an independent Nigeria, the issue of underdevelopment of these two nationalities must be addressed. And at that time, oil was discovered mostly in the territories of these two nationalities. And the government, the British colonial government set up the Wike Commission, which recommended a special area. And they set up the Niger Delta Development Authority. 5% from the federal government to contribute, Eastern region 5% and the Western region 5%. And the government of Tafawa Balewa adhered to its contribution of 5%, the Eastern region and the Western region, like what is happening today, refused to contribute. Now, after the brouhaha of the civil war that took place, they proceeded to create what they call river basin for every gutter, every drainage found in other parts of the country, and they gave them all fanciful names. They converted this special area, which was in the constitution of constitutional dimension, an authority that was embedded in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They now changed it and equated it with this so-called river basin they have created. Now, they totally destroy the character and nature of the Niger Delta Development Authority.
All right. All right.
Yar'Adua came into power and decided Niger Delta Ministry. When General Olusegun Obasanjo was in power, he promulgated through military fiat the Land Use Act and confiscated the land of our people and our resources. After doing that, on his second coming, he came.
All right.
And then created a Niger Delta in his head that does not exist, that is not in tandem with reality. Niger Delta is supposed to be the tributaries that empties into the wetland created by the tributaries that emptied into the Atlantic Ocean.
All right. Okay.
He created a Niger Delta where
Right.
he brought Imo,
Right.
he brought Abia, he brought Ondo, he brought Edo. We are talking of law. We are not talking of effectiveness. The wishes and caprices of a leader does not amount to the law of the country. NDDC was created by law. It was not created by wishes and caprices of a leader that when I decide a thing, it becomes law.
But laws can be amended.
Who decide what is effective?
Mr. Asari Dokubo, laws can be amended.
Effectiveness is because the law had not been amended.
They can be.
As we speak, the law had not been amended. So what we are talking about, who decide what is effective? Everything about Nigeria is inefficient because of corruption, because of wanton corruption. There is corruption everywhere. So that is corruption. All institutions are affected by constitution, are affected by corruption. So nobody would say that it is always the Niger Delta that is not efficient. What we are saying, you yourself had said, I called for the scrapping of NDDC last year when I said they should scrap NDDC and return UNPADEC, which was the right nomenclature for that body called NDDC. And then create a special authority as it was before for the Niger Delta. Having said that, they have created Southeast Development Commission, Northeast Development Commission, whatever development commission. Where is the money going to come from? The money of the Icho, Okoni, Ishekri, Orobo people, and Igbo people. They tell us that oil is no longer important in the world, but it is our oil money they are using. You know, they want to make you look, feel inferior, look little. But each time they try this, they expose themselves. What we are saying, who decide what is efficient? What is efficient in Nigeria?
Mr. Dokubo,
is our railway efficient?
Very quickly, sir, Bimba will ask the next question. You enjoyed, at least prior, and you admitted it yourself, that working for President Bola Tinubu to get him into office, you enjoyed quite a cordial relationship with him. In fact, you composed a number of songs in solidarity with him. Were you consulted? Have you had the opportunity
yes,
to hold on? Yes. Yes, so you were singing yes. in support of him. Were you consulted? Have you had the opportunity to speak to him, or has the line of communication totally broken down between you and the president?
I supported Mr. President because I knew him before he became senator. I knew him before he became governor. I knew him before he became president. And God willing, if we're alive, I will also know him when he ceases to be president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But what I'm trying to say, this is not about me. This is not about an individual called Alhaji Mujahid Dokubo Asari and Ahmed Bola Tinubu. It is about my people. And when I'm speaking about my people, take me out of the way. I'm an individual. My relationship with President Ahmed Bola Tinubu was very robust. And at all times, the benefit I derived from that relationship was one-way traffic, was from Ahmed Bola Tinubu alone. His coming out for presidency was the only time I was able to pay him back. And I did. And even if he comes out tomorrow, I will still do it. Because at the time, General Olusegun Obasanjo buried me alive. He stood by me. And I'm not going to be in a hurry to forget that. But that is personal between both of us. You talk about the line of communication. See, there's an Islamic preacher, Sheikh Kishke. He said, when somebody becomes an emperor, an emir, a sultan, Satan becomes his best friend and advisor. Because Satan will always be there whispering to his ears. Was Jesus not carried to the pinnacle by Satan?
Okay.
And offered the whole
Dokubo,
world that jumped down. I will give you everything.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Now, we've understood you. We understand you're also saying that this conversation is not personal. But a lot of people would disagree because you've made statements such as that if President Bola Tinubu fails, we should hold you responsible. So my question is, should your people...
I stand by that statement.
So should the Ijaw people, the Ogoni people, the people of Niger Delta, should they hold you responsible for the fact that their ministry has now been scrapped?
I stand by that statement.
Yes. So should the Niger Delta people hold you responsible? Are you taking responsibility for the Niger Delta ministry being scrapped? Since you said you would be taking responsibility.
That is why I am crying out. That is why I am crying out. Because I am vigorously liable to any infraction of the exploitation of the Nigerian people, not just Niger Delta people. Because I stood in front of everybody. And I'm not going to deny what I said. Even if it is tomorrow, Ahmed Bola Tinubu encounters any problem, difficulty, I will still stick out my neck and stand. Because at the time he stood for me, I would have been dead. I would not have been in this program talking to you. Obasanjo would have killed me. If not for people like Ahmed Bola Tinubu who stood by me and did everything for me.
Well,
so I am not going to be in a hurry. I am not going to be in a hurry to forget that.
Alhaji Dokubo, will you say that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu...
I'm with you.
Will you say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is succeeding or failing as president, given the reality in the country today? And to still go back to your matter with him, you said you emptied your bank account, you spent a lot of money, and Tinubu is there in Abuja. You are not benefiting anything. So what would you like to benefit from him? Now that you helped him, you supported him, and he's there. He has forgotten people who supported him.
To my broadcast, if you had listened to my broadcast in full, I met President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. I met him, both in camera and behind camera. And he asked me, are you interested in pipeline? He will be listening now. And I told him, I'm not interested in pipeline. He's alive. I told him, I am not interested. But I can assist those who are doing the pipeline contract in any way I can for your government to succeed. But I'm not interested. So I never said that it was personal gain I was looking for. I clearly said in all my broadcasts that my needs are very small. My needs are very small. So what I'm trying to say, and it's very clear, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu becoming president, I should be able to tell him the truth. And what is happening in Rivers State, where President Ahmed Bola Tinubu is supporting Nyesom Wike to destabilize Rivers State, to disturb the peace of Rivers State. And as a stakeholder in Rivers State, I feel disappointed, totally disappointed, for the president to allow his minister serving under him to run amok, procure judgments, and all sorts, threatening the people of Rivers State, because what they are trying to do is, we are going to remove Fubara and nothing will happen. And I'm saying that if you remove Fubara, something will happen. If you try to remove Fubara, something will happen. And that is it. That is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking of any personal benefit. I cannot be appointed minister I cannot be appointed into any board. I did not lobby for any board. I did not lobby for anything. So it's not personal, like I said. Yes, I emptied my bank account. I spent over $2 million US. I cannot even count in naira what I spent. And I did not take a dime from him or anybody except 10 Jackeries who gave me 300 million naira.
All right. Okay.
Well.
All right. We have to go now, unfortunately. But I mean, it would have been great to interrogate your statement around working with the North for 2027, and you coming out to say that from now on you're not working with the president anymore. So I just want to assume that the relationship with you and the president in the past, you're not taking it forward from today. So from now on, are you stating that you are now moving to the other side because you're no longer in support of just one statement? Just one statement, that you are no longer in support of President Bola.
I think you are misquoting me.
Okay.
I think you are misquoting me.
Okay, please then
what
set the
I
record
said was
straight.
very clear, that our fathers worked with the North. And I was in the forefront fighting against our fathers, Melford Okilo, Harold Dababria, and so on. And from what Obasanjo had done, and Ahmed Bola Tinubu have done, we, the younger generation, we go back and align with the North. Because that is where Bayelsa was created by Abacha, Tafawa Balewa put in place Niger Delta Development Authority, and so on and so forth. And for us,
okay,
I think our relationship with the North is far better than our relationship with any other people.
All right.
A viral CCTV footage showing a man who is believed to be a lawyer and manager at PricewaterhouseCoopers in a heated argument with his wife over suspected infidelity has set social media abuzz. In the video, the man was heard shouting, throwing objects, and threatening to smash his wife with a flower vase. He began the abuse in front of his 2 daughters. Let's take a look at that video before we come back for a discussion. All right, Dr. Abati, it feels like more and more we're seeing more, violence, or violent stories that are being, circulated on social media. If it's not the beating of children, it's the beating of teachers. Yeah. Now we're seeing abuse of spouses as well as abuse of children, because that is an absolute abuse of children. You should never hit anyone in front of your children. Dr. Abati.
Okay, violence of any sort is not to be tolerated in society. This is the whole objective of the enabling law in this regard. The Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act of 2015, which was assented to by President Goodluck Jonathan at the time. And violence within the purview of that act is defined as either physical, material, psychological. So in every respect, it's not acceptable. This again is, the video that has been shown. Yes. The gentleman's name, I think, is Mabamoku. That's I think the name I saw. Yeah. I think that's the name. Yeah. So domestic violence, and this is very common. A lot of families go through this trauma. The children are dragged into it, and then they get affected, either psychologically or so. But, in Lagos State, if this event occurred in Lagos State, Mrs. Mabawanku has recourse to an agency. The Lagos State government has an agency called the Lagos Domestic Violence Agency.
Yes.
ESVA.
We can take up the matter and come to the rescue or the defense of Mrs. Mabawanku. But even beyond that, it's how the family is affected. A married woman in her husband's house, being brutalized, and she was saying, I will call my father. I will call my father. I mean, no father would like that kind of thing. You spend money on these girls, send them to school, and then some character from wherever, no matter how he was brought up, will start beating your daughter. I mean, I think parents don't like that. But if you flip it also, he's just lucky that he has a wife that he can raise his hand against and act like he's a man. Some wives don't take nonsense. You raise your hand like this, they will beat you to pop.
Correct.
No, some women they beat.
They beat too. They beat too.
Some women they beat too. But whether it's the wife that is beating the husband or the husband that is beating the wife, I don't think it's it's acceptable. Nobody should be turned into a punching bag.
Absolutely.
In any relationship.
Absolutely.
After all, love brought the two of you together. It's love that should win.
Love should always win. Violence should not be tolerated at all. Meanwhile, the Federal Capital Territory Police Command on Monday arrested Alex Ikwechi, a member of the House of Representatives, who in a viral video assaulted a Bolt driver. In a statement, the FCT police spokesperson said the command is investigating the matter and expressed grave concern at Ikwechi's dismissive attitude towards the office of the Inspector General of Police with his utterances, which they say demonstrates a troubling disregard for the authority of law enforcement.
This rat, I can make this man to disappear in the whole Nigeria and nothing will happen. Can you imagine this rat? I'm not going to give this boy 1 naira of my money. No. I'm not going to give this silly boy 1 naira of my money.
You've been insulting me, sir, and I'm being quiet.
I pray that you do. I pray that you insult me. Can you please insult me? I'm not going to call my policemen to beat you up. I will beat you up. I will show you that I'm a big brother to you. I will slap the hell out of you and I will lie you down, lock you in my generator house. You know who I am? How dare you?
Are you slapping me, sir?
You see this place? You suffer. I'll deal with you.
Are you slapping me, sir?
I just did. Slap me back.
Okay.
How dare you? How dare you?
All right, so this is where I am. I just got 3 slaps from this man here, just because I told him to come and get his stuff and pay me my money. So he's claiming that
Tell them, my name is Honorable Alex Ikwechi. I'm a member of the House of Reps. Tell them I slapped you.
Okay.
Call the Inspector General of Police. Call him, let him come.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Record me very well. Record me very well.
All right. That's nice.
You came to my house to disrespect me?
I didn't disrespect you. I said pay me my money and let me leave.
Come on, give me that phone.
Member of the House of Reps. I mean, this man is the audacity. We played this video yesterday. I mean, this is what we see here. But I believe he has apologized. But, a lot of users on social media have even complained about the fact that why is it that there are so many different, arms to this House of Rep, whether it's federal, whether it's state? Let me take this tweet from Master G, who wrote, I think it's time to scrap the Federal House of Representatives and add their functions to that of the state houses. They are simply double stamping the functions of the Senate House. It will save us time and money. Those reps in the state houses need more engagement. They absolutely need, because it looks like this man has nothing to do other than slapping a Bolt driver. Again, like I said, he did apologize, and I'll read a part of his statement, if we can pull that up quickly. And I think this part of his statement was what I wanted to highlight. He wrote, committed to change. I'm taking immediate steps to address the underlying issues that led to this incident. I am seeking professional counseling to ensure that such behavior never happens again. Additionally, I will be engaging in community service initiatives focused on promoting respect, empathy, and understanding. Call to action. I urge all Nigerians to join me in promoting a culture of respect, tolerance, and understanding. We must work together to build a society where everyone is treated with dignity and respect. Thank you for your understanding, and I hope that you will join me on this journey towards healing and growth. Sincerely, Honorable. Honorable. I mean, I thought that was an honorable state. I hope he's honest. I mean, because this is the sort of thing that you want to hear after, you make such a grave mistake. Our pastor, why are you smiling like this? I don't know why. Yes, go ahead. Why are you smiling?
While I understand, and I'm all for forgiveness and letting go, but I think we need to make examples of certain people.
Yes.
I'm glad that the party he belongs to, ABGA, have released a statement condemning his actions and saying that they're going to set up a disciplinary committee to investigate and, and then see if he's guilty, then they will mete out appropriate punishment. I do think that we've seen one too many incidents like this, and especially as you're saying that we're seeing more, and I don't think it's because it's gone more, it's become more. It's because social media has now highlighted a lot of these things. If that Bolt driver didn't record the altercation, it would be his word against his, and it would have just gone scot-free. And that's probably what has happened in the past, where people in his position have used their power and influence to oppress those who don't have as much, and then get away with it. I mean, even look at the way he was, if you hear the way he was speaking, he was speaking like he said, you will go missing and nothing will happen.
Do you know who I am?
Yes, and then he apologized to the IG of police because the statement he made was almost disparaging to the office of the IG, saying you can call the IG. I do think, yes, he must go, he should go through the counseling, everyone can be rehabilitated, but we need to make examples to show that zero tolerance to this kind of behavior. We've seen it one too many times, and if you can make one example, maybe before you do it, you will think twice before you behave in this such a manner.
Dr. Bati, I wanted your comment on this story.
There was a similar incident in Britain. I think the MP's name is Amesbury.
Yes.
He beat somebody up. Immediately, his party suspended him as a member of parliament. Now, the syndrome we have here in Nigeria is the big man syndrome. Look at how that Alex was sounding. Do you know who I am? Go and call the Inspector General of Police. People just get power drunk because they've been given an opportunity to serve. They don't understand the meaning of service. And the young man was saying, you just slapped me. He said, I will slap you again. Record me. Nothing will happen. This kind of delusion. I think people in public positions should be punished for it. So I don't think the apology by the fellow, I'm even finding it difficult to address him as honorable. I don't think it goes far enough because we should begin to recall persons like this. Yeah. The people of Abia North, Abia South Federal Constituency that he represents should see this as very embarrassing to them, that they have sent to the National Assembly somebody who has no modicum of sense or decorum and will behave like this in a manner that will embarrass them. If we make an example of one or two of them and we record them from parliament, that is how there will be a deterrence. Anybody can write an apology letter. Right. It's not enough. He's old enough to know, how to conduct himself and not oppress somebody that he thinks is of a lower class. To him.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said, Dr. Vati.
And he was even boasting, I can call my policemen to come and deal with you. Right. You see what they do with these policemen. That's why he doesn't even respect the Inspector General of Police.
And that's why they were furious about it. And they